To be honest, I'm concerned about the proposal to help facilitate the distribution of reparations.
What group should receive reparations then?
Start with black people.
Would this be like any black person? Say if they just came from Jamaica or Africa, would they be entitled to reparations?
My ancestors come from the Caribbean, and there were slaves in the Caribbean, and we didn't
qualify for reparations.
Well,
how are we confused on who should receive this repair?
Is it?
San Francisco, they're looking to pay reparations for black people. Should Americans pay for reparations?
Why is it just for black people? A study?
No, I think it's just like a bill that's being proposed. Do you think reparations would de-incentivize personal responsibility and hard work, or would it have positive effects?
I don't think it would have positive effects.
Chesley Major. Chesley Major.
What's going on, everybody? I hope all is well and you're having a good and productive day. Happy New Year 2026. The reparation conversation is heating up, and it's become a widespread mainstream conversation everywhere. And people are coming out the woodwork and giving their 2 cents on a debt that's owed to us. It seems that immigrants have a lot to say about reparations, and they're speaking out against it. Check out what they had to say.
Lives matter that they want to be paid for being, slaves?
Reparations.
Yeah, there.
Well, I heard they passed in North Carolina.
Yes.
It was a small little town in North Carolina that passed reparations for whoever's over there. I'm sure they'll try to do something out here in California. I think they already actually got a little board going that they're going to start looking into it. So
yeah, that's what we, the Rafa, need to step up, protest, and I'm talking major, and turn around and tell them, no. Nobody gave reparations until the Native Americans and the Mexicans get ours first. We've been going through this crap a lot longer, so I don't want to hear it. Because it's not fair, dog. How are you going to give a bunch of money to a specific group, dog? This is the United States, a melting pot. How are you going to give it to a specific group?
Now, you would never hear these guys say the same thing about a group that has got reparations, like Jewish people. But let's continue.
my ancestors come from the Caribbean, and there were slaves in the Caribbean, and we didn't qualify for reparations. Well, here's the challenge. There are so many difficulties with trying to enact reparations, in part because the question is who gets them. Potentially, I could fall into that category. I honestly have called a pipe dream in the past, and I think that's...
I did a couple of essay contests that I actually won, and I won like NAACP AXO award for this essay, and something else, I can't remember another, like I ended up winning money. And the essay was, do you think black people should get reparations? And I was like, no, you didn't work for me.
If we were to pay reparations today, we would only divide the country further. We would insult many black Americans by putting a price on the suffering of their ancestors.
Reparations in this curriculum, because they would pretty much dissipate the angerment when it comes to why we need to be sharing reparations amongst Black Americans, Caribbean Americans, because we are a part of a shared piece of history. If you understand the economic trade and where the money lies, the Wall Street market was selling Caribbeans from New York and sending them back to the Caribbean. If we understand that the sugar to rum production was taking the sugar cane from the Caribbeans, shipping it to New York, distilling it into rum, and shipping it back to the Caribbean. If we understand the contributions of Caribbean Americans...
And this is their mentality. They don't want to see us with it unless they get it. Jamaica owes you, not America.
We are one people, and that means here in New York, we have to consider reparations for the uniqueness of our history. Please include the history as a part of the curriculum so that we as a people can be less angry with ourselves and love ourselves better. Thank you.
Nice if there was an elegant, simple solution to all sorts of complicated problems. You're not actually talking about how to fix those problems if you're only talking about reparations. If we're only debating how we're going to parcel out responsibility for something that happened more than a century ago. And we're probably never going to do this. It's not clear to me why we're pursuing this thing.
Is it fair that there's no reparations, no restitution, nothing.
Should the Irish get reparations, by the way? Irish need not apply signs when they came here during the Progressive era. Sure. I mean, how far do we want to take this down? Are we acknowledging that there are ugly spots in history? Because 60% of the world would be entitled to slave reparations if you wanted to play that game.
Well, here's a fact. Slavery ended 154 years ago. It's been a long, long time since we had slavery in this country. You have people like my family. I'm black, but my family came to the United States in 1962. My parents are from Costa Rica.
Why are you so against reparations?
Valerie, it's a matter of a waste of time. We've got so much to do. And yet you have people who invest so much energy and attention on what I consider to be a dead-end idea.
Economists, consultants from the task force reported the total amount could be as much as 800 billion. 800 billion. That's 2.5 times the size of our entire state budget. To pay for that, you'd need a major tax hike, unlike anything this state has ever seen before. I recognize and acknowledge the painful part of our history. The pains of our past should not be paid by the people of today. The majority of our state is Latino and Asian, making up 55% of our population. Most of them, like me, are first, second, or third generation immigrants who had nothing to do with slavery, discrimination, Jim Crow laws, nothing. It is fundamentally unfair to force these people to pay for this, and because of that, I will be opposing today.
The state does not owe us reparations, the federal government does.
We want justice. We want justice.
A historic day in California.
If any state could do it, it would be California.
2 years in the making.
Gavin Newsom, you want my support. I know you do. But today I need yours.
But reparations, a crossroads America has seen since the introduction of 40 acres and a mule. I've gone one-on-one with members of the First of the Nation panel several times since it embarked on this journey.
How are we confused on who should receive this repair?
The first year, the group studied the lingering effects of slavery in the U.S. Despite California being a free state, history reveals it enforced fugitive slave laws while implementing discriminatory legislation. The second year focused on how do you calculate the harms done to African Americans. The findings looked at issues like mass incarceration, education, and housing. Some had hoped the governor would be at the last public meeting.
I'd be disingenuous if I didn't share my dissatisfaction with our commander-in-chief of this great state about wildland far as my understanding, and not here at such a monumental period in history.
However, the report goes to lawmakers next, not the governor. Now the public watches to see what they will do with this 1,200-page report of recommendations.
We know a lot of folks over there across the street don't want to support reparations. We've seen it too many times.
Just last year, the state Senate failed to vote against removing involuntary servitude, believing it would cost taxpayers billions of money to pay prisoners.
While this occasion has been monumental, even the task force says this cannot be aspirational. It has to be a reality. So what could reparations look like? Well, it could be a check or perhaps even free college tuition or free health care.
What groups should receive reparations then?
Start with black people.
Would this be like any black person? Say if they just came from Jamaica or Africa, would they be entitled to reparations?
The difference between like a black American and someone from Jamaica is they have a place to call home. For a lot of black Americans, their whole ethnic identity was erased by slavery. Jamaicans still have a culture there. There is a culture in Africa. I, on the other hand, as a descendant of old ex-slaves, this is the only place that I've known as a home.
So
every time we say reparations, somebody panics like we just asked for their entire inheritance. But here's the truth. This country has already paid reparations, just not to us. And not just once, multiple times.
She's absolutely right. Reparations have been given to many groups. Many groups have had compensation for the horrific atrocities and crimes that have happened to them. Whenever black people get to the podium, step up to the pulpit, and we voice our concerns about the repair and what's to be done about the compensation of foundational black Americans, it's an issue. But now that we're fighting for what's rightfully ours and we're taking no for an answer, everybody has a problem with it.
So let's stop acting brand new. Reparations are not about guilt. They are about debt. America's been in the red with black folks for over 400 years. And it's not just slavery either. It's everything after.
Millions and billions of dollars have been generated on the backs of the slaves, foundational black American slaves, my people, us. The slave trade has built America. Then you got these Johnny-come-latelys who parents weren't even here saying they deserve the same restorative, reparative reparations that we do.
Stolen wages, stolen land, the GI Bill we were locked out of, the homes we weren't allowed to buy, the neighborhoods we were pushed out of. My grandparents in Virginia had a big house. They built something themselves, they held it down. But do you know what's there now? A highway. Because the government decided that their land was disposable, but convenient for development. And we're just one Black family amongst many more. Reparations is not some favor. It's the bare minimum for a country who made Black struggle policy.
Immigrants have a problem with Blacks getting reparations for a couple simple facts. One is jealousy, and we're going to add envy to that too. We built the place that everybody wants to be and everybody comes to see. The next one is they're chumps. They're too weak to go back to their homeland and fight for what's rightfully theirs in their country. Another thing is a lot of these immigrants thought that when they came to America, they was going to just step on our backs and over our heads. They figured the way to do this was siding with white mommy and zaddy for power and influence. And they were going to do a whole lot of undermining and ass kissing for that power and influence. And a whole lot of boot licking for them butter biscuits. Problem is, they see them as the people they don't want in this country. The people who have no skin in the game. They see them as just tools. Not noble, but traitors. As someone to use and discard. While the immigrants think that, oh, it's all about inclusion. The white man is so nice to us. He let us come to this country. He give us welfare and food stamps and everything. As soon as he done with you, he about to break your ass and put a foot to it and kick you right up out of here. As you can see what's going on. But here's the thing. I would never be an American that was raised on American soil, that went to Jamaica or any other country for that matter. But let's just use them as an example. Hung my hat in Jamaica and saw these people fighting for what's rightfully theirs and tell those people, you didn't work for it, you don't deserve it. Crazy part is, these are other Black people saying this crap. There isn't that much jealousy and envy in my heart that could ever make me hate on another person in their homeland and try to keep them from getting a debt that is owed to them. FBA, we don't roll like that. But on the other hand, people from failed nations, they can't wait to get their chance to run behind Zaddy and sniff the seat of his pants. Boy, I tell you, that extra heavy mayo, raisin, potato salad smell is so refreshing to them. Don't mistake these people for being your friends or your allies. That's a op. See, a friend or an ally would never go against you and your people in a just cause. That's crazy. But listen, to sum it all up, we could never be in a coalition with people that are going against our reparation position. But anyhow, anyway, anywho, I appreciate you. Leave a comment down below. I would love to hear your thoughts and start a conversation. Click that like button. It makes a difference. Subscribe to the channel if you're not subscribed. Peace.